Yo, what is good, y'all? Fast here with another banger. We got Undisputed. This is week 2, and I did want to see what they had to say about Colorado. We reacted to this game. It was crazy. And Travis Hunter. Let's go ahead and see. We reacted to First Take right before this Shannon Sharp's debut onto First Take, which was crazy. We reacted to all of Undisputed last week, which was the first time Undisputed aired with the new crew. So now we got the full crew, which is, this isn't every day, but I love this crew. I'm not sure if I'll react to Undisputed every day this week like I did last week, but definitely Friday after the Chiefs game. And probably like another two days this week, so probably like 2 or 3 times this week. But I want to see what they got to say about this for sure. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see.
How surprised were you by what you saw Saturday?
Let me tell you something, man. When I was there with Deion, the first thing he talked about, he said, Michael, I'm comfortable with my skill guys. I'm a little worried about what goes on up front.
Absolutely.
So when I saw the way this game played out, I said, okay, I know he feels he can match up out wide. He's worried about what goes on up front, but he got rid of the ball quickly, got it to those playmakers. He said they are going to see some speed like they haven't seen, and he was right. I mean, it was speed all over that football field.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how that team kept fighting back. 58 transfers coming in. That kind of union you have, that's what surprised me the most. That team, every time TCU came back and scored, they came back and scored again. That says, even though they just got there, that they are together.
You mentioned the 58, try 86 new players. Anytime you have 86 new players on a 105-man roster.
Keyshawn, that's mind-blowing. 86
to bring it together.
To get this, only 6 penalties. So you talk about
right that time.
You talk about the discipline of a head coach instilling certain things into his team and his program. His coaching staff we talked about last week, I told you, might be the best coaching staff in college football.
Yeah,
they certainly put it on display. We could talk about the players, there's no question about it, but I'm more focused in on what Deion was able to accomplish when many people, including the odds makers, looked at a year ago, a team that played in the national championship and a team that went 1-11, like you said, Skip, goes into Fort Worth, as Michael Irvin was standing on the sideline.
Right there.
Cheering him on. Right there. Went in and unleashed on TCU. Many people didn't believe that because, like you said, Michael, the interior line. What is that? We know outside in the perimeter skill position players are going to be phenomenal. But they held up front, and they took care of business. Now they move on to Nebraska at 1-0.
Richard Sherman, what you got?
Hey, man. Big W's.
I'm surprised by everybody but Prawn because I'm surprised by the things, the unknowns. The unknowns. It was hot, hostile environment. It was 100 degrees. You got players that haven't played these kind of games before. Even the guys he had from JSU. There's a certain belief and a certain faith you got to have in your coach to win a shootout. To win a shootout against the national runner-ups in a hostile environment, first game of the season. You don't know what you got. You don't know how to trust and believe in the guys next to you. But Deion had those boys believing they can get anything done anytime that they were the players that should win this game. It was really cool to see Dylan Edwards came on in a big way. Obviously, Travis Hunter. The 2 guys from UCF, Jimmy Horn Jr., Xavier Weaver. 4 guys, 100 yards receiving and defensively. Trevor Woods, second drive of the game. TCU starting to get some momentum. He puts that fire out immediately, makes a huge play. Huge interception. That was just great for the momentum. But when you get in a game like that, where you don't know what the outcome's going to be, like everybody gets tight. Everybody gets tight. Everybody gets jittery, especially a team that hasn't played in these kind of games together. There's a lot of transfers, but not all the transfers came with Deion from JSU. So they came from different places. So I'm just so proud. And just like Keyshawn said earlier before we got on the show, he got teary-eyed because it's just such a cool moment for sports in general, just to see one of your childhood heroes. He's a pillar in the sports community, in the football community, in every way, to go out there and have the kind of success he had the first day on the job with his sons, doing it his way, with his flash, his flair. Give me goosebumps.
Right, now let's be real about this too. I don't know that a whole lot of coaches really wanted them to have this kind of success.
I agree with that.
Let's just be
They hated. They hated.
The route he took to get into this game. The route he took in is an unconventional route. I talked about this, and I love this. That he took an unconventional route. He brought Travis Hunter an unconventional route. He has his son who stepped up on this stage for the first time doing an unconventional route and put up 510 yards. You just talked about 4 100-yard receivers. They only had 2 all of last year, and he comes in and gets 4. It's not just that they're winning. They're winning playing exciting football. So those people in Colorado, in the streets of Colorado running around, man, I'm telling you, that heaven will be jumping next week when high noon, when big noon kickoff get to Colorado.
Agreed. So Friday, you and I were on the show here. We went back and forth about a point spread that was 3 touchdowns. It's 20.5 points. And we both agreed. They're going to cover that for sure. But neither one of us could go all the way to, are they going to win the game? It's just not realistic because of the lines of scrimmage. I didn't know what they had in the offensive line or the defensive line. But at halftime on Saturday, I sat back in my chair and I said, wait a second. They have the best quarterback on the field by far.
We were texting back and forth.
You and I were. They have the best receiver and the best cornerback on the field because it's the same guy. It's the same guy. And they have the best breakaway back on the field, and he is a true freshman that I knew nothing about except I knew his
running back went crazy.
And Deion had raved about him last week. He's going to break one. He's going to break. Well, he broke
one. He broke a lot.
Every time I looked up, he was loose, right? So if you have the 4 best players on the field at TCU against a program that is still deep in talent, you got a shot. But I'm thinking through the 100 degrees in the second half, down on the field is 110, 112. Can the lines hold up? Well, the offensive line did. The defensive line, not so much. But the offense is so explosive because these are serious, big-time, top-of-the-line playmakers that they have, speaking of playmakers.
Hey, man, it was a late game. Travis Hunter did his thing.
262 yards rushing, which I don't love.
It was fun.
But, hey, if you can go 45-42 in the fourth quarter because your quarterback set the school record with 510 yards passing. He was flawless. There were 3 other balls that were dropped. We'll talk
about
it
all college football
but the point is,
this weekend. So check out those games, and we also have one game tonight, Clemson versus Duke, I believe. So we're going to be ready
to the next level of competition. Yes. It might translate to the next level of competition as he can play on Sunday.
All right, man. It's hype, man. Let me know your thoughts on it. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to catch you tomorrow with Sports Talk. Got some college football later. Appreciate you. Also going to be streaming later my fantasy football team.